So a few days ago, I went and saw Steven Spielberg's latest offering, Ready Player One. Now, with the exception of The Post, over the last 20 years, Steven Spielberg's offerings have been really pretty much hit and miss. I mean, other than, like I said, The Post, his last truly great film was Saving Private Ryan, and that was 20 years ago. But I grew up on Steven Spielberg films, Jaws, the Indiana Jones trilogy, E.T., Jurassic Park. I mean, Steven Spielberg made some fantastic films. I mean, groundbreaking films. I mean, along with George Lucas, he either directed or produced most of the great films that came out in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I mean, Schindler's List, in my honest opinion, is the greatest film of all time. I mean, but when it comes to the whole family films, he hasn't made a truly great one since Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, Jurassic Park Part 2. And, so to actually have Steven Spielberg come back and make a film that's just pure fun and it's just enjoyable to watch, that's loaded with pop cultural references from my generation, is absolutely fantastic. I mean, the music's mix of classic rock from the 70s, but predominantly from the 80s. And of course, New Order's Blue Monday worked absolutely perfect. I mean, you've got the video games from the time, from the 70s and 80s. You've got the cinematic references from that period. I mean, it does go into modern territory. It does. I mean, set in the future where everybody's lives live their life through this virtual world called the Oasis, and they have to find these hidden keys, and the person who finds all the hidden keys for cracking all the clues becomes the controller of the Oasis. You've got this big conglomerate that's going after all these people all these kids and everybody who also want to gain this control for different reasons, and you've got these the leads who want to overthrow and literally change the Oasis and make it more for the people. And and it's as it's your typical future where where the big industries control everything. You've got the poor people whose lives are through lived whose life is so bad that they live it in this virtual world. I mean, the ending is a great payoff. You mean it's very predictable. I mean, that is the problem. I say problem. It's not really that much of a problem. But the film, there's a lot of elements I telegraphed right from the start. It's coming. Certain characters say certain things. I mean, the characters themselves. The CG is fantastic. I mean, it works in the game construct of the games. I mean, it does. If you love video games, modern day video games. I mean, I stopped playing years ago. I'm not a video gamer, but there's enough cultural references to the games that I did play when I was growing up, and the film references. I mean, unbelievable. It's one of these films which I'm looking forward to going to see again, just so that I can see what I missed the last time. I saw a poster, Jack Slater reference to the Last Action Hero. You've got the Back to the Future references. Is what you think you see. I'm sure there are Tron references in there. You know, there's I don't know this, but apparently I read this thing saying there's supposed to be no Steven Spielberg references, but there's a big T Rex. How many films out there do you know that have got a dominant T Rex? Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. I'm just saying. I'm sure there are Star Wars references in there, but with the volcano planet. But don't quote me on that one. I'll probably be told now that the volcano area is from something else. There's Street Fighter that I just noticed. This is off the top of my head. There's Mad Max. There's I'm sure RoboCop's in there. It's like you're walking out from the film thinking, I have to see this film again because I want to get all these pop cultural references. The soundtrack is superb. Slight complaint in the trailers they use Tom Sawyer by Rush. That's not actually featured in the film, and it works perfectly in the trailer. And I was thinking, nah, God, this is going to be in the film, just like Immigrant Song was in Thor Ragnarok. And I was like, yeah. But that being said, you know, the that doesn't mess with the film, but the songs in the film I was singing along to anyway, which is because it is my generation of rock. And of course, like I said, New Order's Blue Monday, the use of that, superb. Casting is superb. I mean, it is not like heavy star loaded. It isn't. But I mean, that was why it works. That's why I'm mentioning the cast in this one. I mean, the one that really stood out to me was Ben Mendelsohn from Star Wars Rogue One. but there are he's picked actors. Steven Spielberg has picked actors instead of stars, and Spielberg has gone back to what he's done best: great family entertainment. And there is the moralistic story at the end, but it works. It works perfectly. It's fun. That's what came out from the film. Was I was smiling, and it was brilliant because it was check your brain out, enjoy, love the pop cultural references, but it's fun. And people from my generation who grew up in the 80s will love this film because it's stuff that you get. You can take your kids because they'll get the later references. But for me, it was fun. That's it. That's my review of Ready Player One. Go see this film. Check your brain out and enjoy. More reviews coming soon. See you soon. Bye.